I would like to call to order the regular Planning Commission of December 13th, 2021 at 6:02. Mr. Johnny Hernandez, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Hernandez. Ex parte communications. This section is intended to allow all officials. Oh, my bad. I'd like to take roll call. Planning Secretary, may you please call roll?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioner Carvajal,
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Rounds,
Here.
Chair Arnold, Vice Chair Jimenez,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Okay, now ex parte communications. This section is intended to allow all officials the opportunity to reveal any disclosure regarding site visits or ex parte communications about public hearings. Seeing none? Any commissioners?
None.
Okay, great. Item 5, public comments. Public comments are now open. Anyone joining us through Zoom can use the raise hand function, or you wish to speak, make a public comment on any item on the agenda or not on the agenda. The planning secretary will see if you have raised your hand through the Zoom application. For those that are here to make a public comment in person, you will have an opportunity once the planning secretary announces your name. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Planning secretary, do we have any members in the public present?
Vice Chair Jimenez, no, we do not.
Okay. Not on Zoom either?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, I will now close public comments and move on to the next item. Item number 6, minutes. Approval of the minutes of November 8th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. Could I get a motion and a second, please?
Commissioner Carbajal, I move.
Commissioner Hernandez, I'll second it.
A motion by Commissioner Carbajal, second by Commissioner Hernandez. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? So ordered. Moving on to item number 7, public hearing. Continued from November 8th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. Development plan approval, case number 985, a request for approval to allow the construction of a new 4,723 square foot drive-through restaurant and an appurtenant improvements on the subject property. Conditional use permit Conditional use permit CUP case number 822, a request for approval to allow the establishment, operation, and maintenance of a 4,723 square foot drive-through restaurant within the C4 community commercial zone. The subject property is located at 13225 Telegraph Road within the C4 community commercial zone. I would like to call upon Associate Planner Jimmy Wong to please present item number 7.
Evening, Commissioner. So item number 7 is development plan approval case number 985 and conditional use permit case number 822. Next slide. So subject property is located at 13225 Telegraph Road. It's located on the north side of Telegraph Road. The subject property contains 2 parcels. The total measurement is 0.83 acre and is currently zoned as C4 Community Commercial. Subject property is currently developed with a single commercial building constructed in 1973, approximately 10,897 square feet. So the previously used for the building is a restaurant and bar, S&P Restaurant and Bar. Project description: the applicant is proposing to clear the subject site and therefore develop a new restaurant with a drive-through. The proposed project will need 2 entitlements. The first one is development plan approval case number 985 and conditional use permit case number 822. So a little background about the applicant. The operator will be Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is one of the largest fast food chains that specializes in chicken sandwich, currently operating more than 2,600 restaurants. Currently, Chick-fil-A is serving breakfast before 10:30 a.m. and lunch and dinner for the rest of the operating hour. They also offer customer catering service for special events. The first entitlement, development plan approval, case number 985. Here's the proposed site plan. The applicant, 4G Development, is proposing to demolish the existing building and construct a new 4,723 square feet drive-through restaurant. Currently on the site plan is highlighted in orange. In addition to that, the applicant is also proposing to construct 2 drive-through canopy highlighted in blue. The proposed building will have a minimum 20-foot setback along both street facing property line. And the proposed drive-through canopy will set back a minimum of 17 feet from both property line. According to the zoning code section 155.4556, canopy cover are permitted to encroach in 4 feet into the required setback area. Therefore, the 17 feet setback will meet the zoning code. A proposed trash enclosure will be located on the west side of the property, highlighted in green, and a transformer is proposed to be at the northeast corner of the parking area, highlighted in purple. Here's the proposed floor plan. The public area will be 1,620 square feet. There will be 28 tables with 86 seats and 2 restrooms. The rest of the area will consist of non-public area and include office, kitchen, dishwashing area, walk-in freezer and cooler, electrical room, and drive-through serving area. In addition, there will be a patio area located on the west side of the proposed building. There will be 4 tables with umbrella, and it will have 16 seats. Here's the proposed elevation. The proposed building will have a maximum height of 22 feet, and the proposed canopy will be 9 foot 8 inches. Here's a rendering of the proposed building. It will be in contemporary style. There will have height variation pop out, and will also include modern building material like steel, wood, and glass. So parking requirement, a total of 56 parking stalls will be provided, 3 accessible parking stalls, 1 EV parking, 14 compact parking, and 38 standard parking. In addition to that, there will be 4 bike racks that will allow for 8 bikes to be parked there. According to our zoning code, the proposed development are required to have 56.28 parking stalls. Per code, we do round down when it's lower than 0.3, so the proposed parking does meet the zoning code. So there will be 2 driveway access to the subject property, one along Telegraph, another one along Los Netos Road in the rear. As condition number 4 will require the applicant to modify the existing median island located along Telegraph. The modification will basically remove the left turn going westbound. Most of the landscaping will be located along the 2 street front. It will have a minimum of 15 feet wide landscaping strip. Additional landscaping will be provided along within the subject property. A total of 10,518.8 square feet of landscape are required, and the total landscaping area being provided is 13,143, which meet the parking or the landscape requirement. The second entitlement is conditional use permit case number 822. According to the zoning code 155.153, section K, driving restaurant does require conditional use permit. The operating hour for the restaurant will be Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., and they will be closed on Sunday. The proposed restaurant will incorporate a 2-lane drive-through design. A 2-lane drive-through design will be located on the north side of the restaurant and the property, and it can accommodate a total of 28 vehicles. And a staff member from Chick-fil-A will hand deliver the order to the customer for the outer lane of the drive-through. So during peak hour operation, Chick-fil-A will provide a drive-through management program where team member would utilize iPad to take customer order in the drive-through. This system, according to the operator, will increase the speed of service by 30%, which speed up the drive-through process. Supply delivery will be at night, so it will not obstruct the business hour, and it will approximately 2 to 3 times per week. CEQA review. After review analysis, staff found that the proposed project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15302 class 2B, replacement and reconstruction. So the proposed development will replace the existing restaurant use with a new drive-through restaurant, and the site does not contain any sensitive environmental resource, and the subject property is not listed within any historical preservation or landmark list. The project was initially noticed on October 27, 2021. At that time, we did receive 1 common email on November 6, 2021. In addition to that, after the initial notice, we did receive 2 additional comments, so a total of 3 from the same property owner at 10330 Painter Avenue. Oh no, it's on the next slide. Yeah, so initially the first email that staff received, that resident is request a copy of the staff report and the traffic study when it's available, and also request the item to be continued to the next planning commission meeting, which is December. And he also expressed concern related to traffic. The second email staff received, the resident expressed his concern related to the proposed development. A response to comment letter was provided to the resident on November 16, 2021. It was part of the staff report as attachment 6. And lastly, staff also received a common email from the resident on December 12, 2021, which is yesterday. So staff did a summary of all the concern that the resident raised. Here are those summary and a response to the comment. The first concern is related to drive-through queuing, and the resident want to know what is the contingency or condition that will address the overflow of vehicle if there are a problem with that. So staff responded and said and provided him with a survey that staff conducted for the surrounding Chick-fil-A development, and we found that the 28 the vehicle queuing capacity is comparable to other Chick-fil-A location in the surrounding area. And we did provide a chart to the resident indicating other location and when they were approved and number of queuing. In addition to that, the applicant did hire a traffic engineer to provide a traffic impact analysis to study 7 other existing locations that are similar to the proposed location. And they found that 28 vehicle queuing is adequate for this location. In addition to that, the proposed double lane drive-through will provide a faster rate of service to customers who are using the drive-through service. And condition 43, 74, 75, and 94 were included to address any future issue related to the queuing from the drive-through. So the second concern the resident has is the electrical transformer being too close to his property. Staff had relayed the resident concern to the applicant and is willing to work with SCE to see if there's alternative location. But it should be noted that location for the transformer is approved by Southern California Edison. So staff had limited ability to dictate where the location of the transformer. So the third concern I have is that Mr. Farrell wanted to request a revision to condition 10 and 11 to include language that all main sewer lines shall be given across to the public sewer line to any property requiring a lateral connection, or a lateral line shall be provided to the edge of the property where surrounding property have no sewer connection. Since sewer connection is related to public work, staff have directed Mr. Farrell to contact our city public work department for more information related to sewer connection. And we also relate that his request to the property owner regarding the sewer connection. The fourth concern that the resident have is related to graffiti, homeless, and unwanted people at the rear parking lot. He expressed that the current restaurant had experienced these type of problem, and he wanted to know how the staff is addressing these concerns. Condition 4489 address issue related to graffiti, which is included in our municipal code to remove graffiti within 72 hours. And condition 40 address loitering, which we don't allow. And condition 67 require all activity outside of dining, drive-through operation, and require monitored by attendants shall conduct inside, so no outside activity unless permitted by the city. And if a dangerous condition has occurred, city will work with the operator to address those issues. And it should be noted that this is a conditional use permit, so there are compliance reviews within 1 year, 3 or 5 years. If there's any issue, we could address it during the compliance review. So the last concern Mr. Farrell have is that he believed the CEQA exemption, section 15302, class 2B, does not apply to this project since the new primary use is restaurant with a drive-through and the existing use does not have a drive-through. So staff have consulted with the city environmental consultant, and we both agree that the proposed project is exempt under section 15302, class 2B. In addition to that, our consultant also proposed that the project is also qualified for CEQA exemption, section 15332, class 32 infill, since the project is consistent with the general plan and the proposed project will not result in any significant effect related to traffic, noise, air quality, and water quality. And the site can be adequately served with all required utility and public service. The project site does not contain any sensitive environmental resource. And lastly, the project site is located within an urban area and is less than 5 acres inside. Here is the traffic analysis that was submitted from the applicant. As you can see, the existing traffic condition and the existing traffic condition with the proposed plan, the LS level of service have not changed, even with the proposed drive-through restaurant. So for your consideration, the proposed project is consistent with the purpose of the C4 zone. And the proposed commercial building is well-designed and should be highly suitable for a restaurant with a drive-through. Extensive consideration has been given to the design, landscape, and orientation of the proposed development. And the proposed restaurant with drive-through use will not be detrimental to person or property in the immediate vicinity and will not be adversary effect to the city in general. Recommendation on planning, we found the county commission to find and determine that the project is categorical exempt from CEQA per section 15302 class 2B and section 15332 class 32 infill exemption. And we also recommend approval for development plan approval case number 985, conditional use permit 822. And also recommend adopting resolution number 200-2021 with staff modification to section 1 environmental finding determination, subject to condition attached to the resolution. Since the original resolution did not include a second exemption, staff have modified and provided a copy of the revised resolution to include the second CEQA exemption as suggested by the environmental consultant. And that concludes my presentation. I do have the applicant here, the traffic engineer, to answer any question related to the project.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Do any of the commissioners have any questions? Yes, Commissioner Carbajal?
Okay, my first question, when you were doing the traffic studies with the 3 Chick-fil-A's, I believe you have Downey, Orange, and Monrovia. Was there a reason why Norwalk wasn't done, since that's also the closest and a very busy one where you can see the traffic?
I basically just find the most recent approved one, and that's just staff research on the all the new one that are being constructed, because the Norwalk one was not constructing recently and it does not even have the 2-lane system. But in addition to that, I just want to point out the applicant traffic engineer also did their own study of 7 other locations, and that should be more close related since they are the operator to Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Okay, and next question, on the business resident that was sending the emails, is that the owners that have the hamburger stand, the hamburger place right there?
I believe is the residential, the residential.
Oh,
that's
the
on
gray
this-
house, the only one there, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now you were mentioning, they were mentioning about the loitering and the sewer connection in there. If you drive by, yes, there are, the homeless are still in the back of with nothing that can be done on there, unfortunately. You did say that on some of this stuff, we can, with the conditional use, we can relook at it after a year, which is fine, but of course the restaurant would have already been already operated by then. My concern is traffic. So they're going to be coming in, the way I view it, through them by the middle school street, correct?
They can go through both on the north side and from Telegraph. Let me go to. Sorry.
But they're not going to be able to go from Telegraph straight in like right now it is to S&P. That part is going to
Not-
be that medium.
If you're going westbound, then you won't be able to. However, if you're going east, then you can turn into the proposed development.
But they'll be able to queue from the back as well.
Yes, they will be able to do both. But we do have a condition, have them not to queue into any of the street if possible.
Okay, and this building is half the size of S&P because we're going to do a full new building on that. When, if this is approved, when do the S&P owners, or when would they have to leave by? Do we have that? Do we know, like 6 months from now, a year,
Thinking
or is it immediately? Yeah, Louis,
You can have
you know.
the applicant to answer.
Uh-huh.
All the same applicant, I mean, the applicant that's there now. And when we met with them in regards to their permit, they said that they're on a month-to-month basis. So an actual deadline is around May. But again, because it's month-to-month, they can be tomorrow.
It could be any time
Yeah.
then, if it goes through, then the okay, so they're month to month lease. Okay, and then the sewer connection, again, did we address that? So that's just up to the landowner, because I know that's a problem.
Yeah, so we have provided the concern or his request to the applicant and the property owner. However, it is up to the property owner if they want to work with them. The city can help direct them, but we can't require at this point since it's private property.
That's my questions, if anybody else has.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
Well, I had the same concern as Francis. The main thing is the queuing of the cars, especially around lunchtime. I do frequent a couple of them that have the double lanes, and they seem to work really well. I know, and I've never actually had to order through a speaker. My question would be, will this be operated like other Chick-fil-A's where they actually have the staff in the lanes going up to the, where they can actually order and pay to speed up the process?
Yeah, that's one of the strategy or management that management program that they have and was listed here. So if there are a long queuing, they will have a staff out there to manually do the order and speed up the process.
Okay, yeah, it really works well. And, 28 vehicles, that's a lot. That's quite a few. But if it did exceed that, would they end up going out onto Los Nietos, or would they stay within the property of Chick-fil-A?
They are conditioned to not have any queuing through the street. So I think that the operator might be better to answer that question, but they are conditioned that they should not be ever queuing to the street.
Yeah, because normally if that happens, then they usually set up a coning, extra coning to show the people where they need to queue instead of leaving it up to the people.
Yeah, I believe the operator will be better to answer that. But as city point, we don't want any car queuing to the street to block traffic going both either of the street.
Yeah, that's my biggest.
Any other questions? No? Is Mr. Arnold here?
I
Commissioner
don't think
Arnold,
he
or-
is.
No, he is not.
Oh, okay, he's not present. Yeah, I have some concerns about traffic also. It just my kids love Chick-fil-A, and every time I go to Chick-fil-A, it's really busy. So it's just kind of a concern how it wouldn't change any of the demographics in our traffic.
I think we will have the traffic engineer from our side and their side to answer those questions.
Okay, so we wait after we,
Yeah.
for those questions, we wait for after, right?
Okay, I think the best course is to have the applicant come up and then we can have any follow-up questions because the traffic engineer is here to also to answer any questions that would.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Okay, so no more questions from the commissioners. The hearing is now open. And I would like to call upon the applicant if they wish to speak. Could you please
just to
approach?
Clarify, Vice Chair, the hearing was already open, so no need to reopen.
Yeah. No, I said it's open. I didn't say reopen. Oh, okay. Please state your name and city of residence for the record and address.
My name is Ed Hale, and I'm a resident of Escondido, California. I am a director of planning with 4G Development and Consulting. Our client is the Chick-fil-A restaurant chain. Our firm is privileged to be developing for the western region of Chick-fil-A. So we do all of their development west of the Rockies. Did you want my home address as well?
No, no, it's fine. Just,
Okay.
that's fine.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for the privilege of coming up and once again standing before the body to represent Chick-fil-A and their proposal to come here to your city. I have with me Carlos Arias, who is a principal development lead with Chick-fil-A. He's the man to whom I report the progress on the development of the project. And one of the things that I report to him regularly is the interesting conflation of an extremely competent planning staff who have put us through the ringer here. But they are very, very responsive. Mr. Morel, thank you on behalf of Chick-fil-A and the property owner, Mr. Kazemi, for the professionalism exhibited by your staff, especially Jimmy Wong. Jimmy answered my calls on the day that I called. I would get a call back from him. If he made a promise that he was going to check with his supervisors or the engineering department or utilities or whatever, he fulfilled those promises and got right back to me. As a developer who's been developing commercial properties for Chick-fil-A for 12 years now, the city of Santa Fe Springs has, they should be proud of their planning group here. They've done very, very well. But they did put us through the ringer here. And the site plan and the building design that you see now that we're presented and that we're happy to get behind was through no small effort on their part to push us through that. So this site plan is something that we believe we can get behind, that they've gotten behind. We squeezed every square foot of that site that we possibly could to get the parking spaces in there that we could and still have a drive-through queuing configuration that we believe is safe and efficient. This project does feature the what we call the double drive-through or the two lane all the way through. This is a distinctive now with Chick-fil-A. We're even going to 3 lanes in many of our stores now when we can, although Southern California real estate makes that extremely expensive to do, as you can imagine. But this site reflects the brand new or the relatively new configuration of 2 delivery positions now as well, not just 2 ordering points, but by having 2 delivery points at the what we call the food delivery area or the outside meal delivery area, where we have crew members that are running food out, we can get a lot more cars through. We have far fewer incidences where you have a food that's ready in the back, but the person that's at the window is not able, we can't get them their food and we got to move them out and put them someplace where they can eat so we can keep the line moving. That's happening with far less frequency with this particular configuration. And so some of the observations that you've made here with respect to, yes, Chick-fil-A is a very busy, very popular restaurant. We are the most popular chicken restaurant in the country. We're very proud of that. And it's a good problem to have, but this particular configuration is addressing that problem, the problems that you've heard about. Earlier, you asked Commissioner about why we chose the stores that they did. We try to give our traffic engineers and the planning group stores that we believe are comparable to the kind of volume and configuration here. So there are other stores that might be closer, or there might be other stores that are newer. But we like to pick stores that are going to reflect the kind of study that we can, so that when we tell you that the 28 car queuing that we provided here is adequate, we want to stand behind that. We're not here to make stuff up for you. We pay a lot of money for our traffic engineers to give us bad news so that we can turn around and redesign the site as necessary. We want to be a good neighbor. We want to be a good neighbor to Mr. Fierro and all the others out there. We don't want the cars parked out in the public right of way any more than you do. Promise you that. And we're going to do everything we can, including deploying our crew members out into the parking lot to direct traffic, move them into the property. If they're queuing up because they think, hey, I want to go into the drive-through lane and we don't have room for them, we'll make them come on into the property and park, and do what we can to service them so that we're not interrupting the school out there or out there on Telegraph Road. The driveway on Telegraph Road is a right in, right out. Okay, so there is not going to be any queuing waiting to come out and turn left out of there. Furthermore, there are people that are coming in, they're already slowing for that intersection anyway, making that right turn into the driveway. We fully expect that there will be very little interaction with the cars when they first come in. So we don't expect any cars to be backing out on a telegraph. And I think that was it on my notes that I took when you were asking those questions. Mr. Arias is here. Mr. Arias is like I said, he's an employee of Chick-fil-A and can speak more to the operational concerns if you have, although I can tell you, my son was an assistant manager at Chick-fil-A for a number of years and very proud of the fact that they could deploy crew members in a moment's notice and get out there and get the customers through the line, and watched them do it many, many times. And I'm proud. I'm proud of Chick-fil-A and their ability to do that. Also, we have online our traffic engineer in case anybody has any further questions on the technical aspects of the traffic engineer. Other than that, here to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. Any other questions?
No questions. I just want to, thank Chick-fil-A for coming back. They were going to come into our city a few years ago, probably quite a few years ago now, but, and it wouldn't have worked out because they were going to put two restaurants side by side, both with drive-throughs, and it would have been a disaster. The more I look at this plan, I don't think it gets any better than this. It's not in a busy shopping center. It's not somewhere where a lot of cars are going through. I think this is going to be a great venture for you and for the city. My only question, and I don't think what school is that, Edwards? They don't have an open campus, do they?
Great.
Can the kids leave there during the day? But maybe after school. And that would be a question about safety of the kids walking in there, especially if it is busy.
Certainly could understand as a parent myself, be worried about kids running through the parking lot there. I don't think they have an open campus, and it's my understanding from talking to the neighbors that the cars line up there in Los Nietos while they're waiting for their children to get out of school, and they pick them up, and so there's a circular out there. So they already have school employees out there directing traffic, making sure that the kids aren't getting hurt while they're out there. Chick-fil-A is not in the habit of babysitting people's unaccompanied children, so I don't think we're going to be, handing out, toys to the kids to get them to come in without their parents. That's just not our style.
Right.
The other thing I'd like to point out, by the way, is that our PM peak hours is well after the kids have already been picked up from school. Our PM peak hours start 3:30, 4 o'clock. Kids have been picked up by then, and they're gone. And we don't have an appreciable breakfast rush like a lot of the other fast food restaurants where we're going to have conflict with the parents while they're dropping off.
Thank you.
That was just my concern as far as just the parking situation, because I know the current people that are there, S&P, they have a problem when the kids are out. Besides queuing up there, the parents go onto the property and have their children wait there, and they pick them up. That was mine. I'm like, but you deal with it or whatever. And as long as we keep that right turn from Telegraph, because we all know Chick-fil-A, the product, we know that it's good. I love the Sundays off. I believe in that. But that was my concern on the parking wise. But if we're going to do that, then that was it. Thank you.
Again, just thanks, Jimmy, for all the work that you put into this. You put me through the ringer, but we did get something that we can all stand behind. So thank you again.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience wishing to speak on this matter? Okay. How about on Zoom, Teresa? Anyone wishing to speak on this matter?
Vice Chair, no.
Okay, great. Seeing no one wishing to speak, I would like to close the public hearing and get a motion and a second for item number 7.
I would like to move item number 7.
Commissioner Carbajal, second.
Moved by Commissioner Rounds and second by Commissioner Carbajal. Planning Secretary, could I get a roll call vote, please?
Most definitely, Vice Chair. Commissioner Carbajal,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez, Commissioner Rounds,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jimenez,
Aye,
passes 4-0.
so ordered. Yes,
Yes.
Commission's action on this item that shall become effective.
no.
Commission's action on this item shall become effective 14 days after receipt by the applicant of written notice of the commission's action.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, special business. Citywide photo contest. I would like to call upon Associate Planner Vince Velasco to present the citywide photo contest selections.
Good evening, Planning Commissioner. Sorry, that was loud. I'm here tonight to present to you the 4th annual National Community Planning Month photo contest. If you recall, the month of October, we recognized Planning Month, and we ran the contest from October 1st to October 31st. What's new to 2021 in our this year's contest is that we decided to separate the photos into 3 categories: from youth, which is 12 and under, teens, which is 13 to 17, and adults, 18 and over. So these are the total entries that we had. To be honest, it's not as high as we expected doing the 3 categories, but we still are happy with the turnout nonetheless. We had 2 youth entries, and so staff went ahead and picked and selected the winner, which was Angelique Soto. We had 1 teen entry, and the winner is Ruby Soto. And so we had 13 adult entries. So staff has narrowed them down to the top 5, and we'd like to ask you all to select the winning adult photo tonight. So these are the top 5 photos, 1 through 5. I'd like to take a roll call to get your selections. So Vice Chair Jimenez,
I like 1.
number 1. All right. Commissioner Rounds,
Before I vote, where is photo number 3 taken?
that is a good question. I have it written down, but I don't have it memorized. I'm sorry. It is in the city.
And number 1 is taken from the bridge, I'm assuming?
It's not taken, no. In fact, all of you could select the same and it would be unanimous.
Right, right.
Mhm.
No, I'm just trying to,
Oh, from the bridge. I'm sorry. I heard that statement wrong.
I'm gonna go with number 2.
2. Commissioner Carbajal. Number 2. And Commissioner Hernandez.
I think photo number 3 stands out. Looks very professional. Number 3 does it.
All right. And Teresa, you said we do not have Commissioner Arnold, correct? Okay. So based on your votes, it looks like photo number 2 is this year's adult category winner.
Thank you for helping us select number 2 as this year's adult winner. So just so you know, the winner of each category will actually receive a feature in an upcoding city quarterly. Each winner from each category will receive recognition at an upcoming city council meeting, as well as a $100 prize, which were donated by our planning director, Wayne Morrell, and our code enforcement officer, Louis Glazo.
All right.
We would like to thank them for donating to the winning prizes. And photo number 2 will enter the Hall of Fame, so to speak, of our past winners from 2018, 2019, and 2020, just for recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 9, consent items. Consent agenda items are considered routine matters which may be enacted by one motion and roll call vote. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately by the Planning Commission. So item number 9 are planning consent items. We have 2 consent items. Unless one of the commissioners would like planning staff to present an item for further discussion, is there a motion and a second for the approval of item 9A and 9B?
I'll move items 9A and 9B.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay, great. Motion by Commissioner Round, second by Commissioner Hernandez. Planning Secretary, could I have a roll call vote, please?
Most definitely, Vice Chair Jimenez. Commissioner Carvajal,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Rounds,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jimenez.
Aye,
Consent items passed 4-0.
thank you. So ordered. Item number 10, announcements. Are there any commissioners that have any announcements that they would like to say?
Just a comment. It comes from, since this is Christmas festivity and stuff. I like a prayer, and I don't want to get into any religious stuff in that, but there's a prayer that states that, what does it say? Give me the courage to change what I can change, and give me the will to change. Wait. Something in the line is basically what you can't change, please accept. What you can change, please try to change. And lastly, give the wisdom to know the difference. So, just want to set you with that for the holidays.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, 2021 didn't seem to be much of a better year than 2020, but we did get a lot of business done. We started meeting in person again, and that's a good thing. We're making progress, and hopefully 2022 is going to be a year that we can all come back out and enjoy. And programs that the cities have been putting on all year have been fantastic. It's the city of Santa Fe Springs, the way it has been and it always will be. But I want to, Ed Hale from Chick-fil-A mentioned something. And thank you, staff, for putting these things through, these people through the ringers. Because it's not just a stamp of approval. Decisions we make in here are going to last for many, many, many years. And we want to have the best for Santa Fe Springs. Santa Fe Springs has never been afraid to step out and maybe go away from the book a little bit, but it's always for the best of the community, and that's what it's all about. So all the planning staff, I want to thank you for everything that you've done. Tom, it's great to see you in the audience again. Kathia, thank you for your guidance and keeping us straight and out of trouble. But 2022 is right around the corner, and I'm looking forward to next year. And the Santa float started last week, and it's been going out through the neighborhoods. In fact, it's out tonight. And our chairperson Arnold has been the chairperson of that committee for probably over 10 years now. And he was at the tree lighting ceremony. He wasn't able to make the whole time, but he was there, and it was great to see him out. And one of the stops last week was right by his house. And it was, in fact, it was last Tuesday because it was a city council meeting. And the council, after they got out, they went over to that stop. Ken Arnold and his wife came out of the house and said hello to everybody, took pictures with everybody. And it was just very, very heartwarming for the council to do that. And all the people, all his neighbors were there. Keep, as Johnny with the prayer, keep Ken and his wife in your prayers. He's a fighter. He really is. He's a fighter, and hopefully he'll be back on this dais again with us next year. But to each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and stay safe, and just enjoy. It's all about family. It's all about family. So enjoy your families, your friends, and be good. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rounds. And myself, I would like to thank my colleagues, the commissioners, for doing such a great job. I mean, we all have our own lives, and we come together. We have our own opinions, but we seem to work it out and do what's best for our city. Whether we're on one side or the other, we always come together as one and do the right thing. As for Ken Arnold, when I first came to the commission, he was kind of my mentor. I mean, I really didn't know what I was doing here, and he showed me a lot, and he took the time to reach out to me and guide me. And it's really heartbreaking that he's going through what he's going through, but he's a fighter. He's also a coach like myself, and so I really look up to him and admire him. And just want to wish everyone a happy holidays and stay safe. And I want to thank our planners for doing an awesome job. I mean, you guys are all on it. And just everyone have a happy holidays. Is there any announcements from staff?
I don't know if others have any, but I'd like to start.
Yes.
Good evening, commissioners. So as you already know, the draft general plan as well as the EIR is now available for public review. The EIR has been circulated for the mandatory 45-day period as per CEQA. It began November 3rd and it will end December 17th. So we will receive comments on the EIR up until 5 p.m. on that date. Although we've shared, various informations with you throughout the process in either study sessions, GPAG meetings. We recently provided you with the draft report either in digital or hard copy format. We understand it's a very large document. It's a lot to digest. So tonight, I just wanted to share a couple of items that I think you should really be aware of as you review the document. And first and foremost, the general plan, it does include some new items. We do have 3 mixed-use zones that we're proposing. A regular mixed-use zone, a mixed-use downtown, and a mixed-use TOD. In each of those mixed-use zones, there are density considerations as well as height considerations. So we wanted to make sure you're aware of that. Secondly, as it pertains to church properties, there are proposals in the general plan that includes the rezoning of church properties. And it's directly in relations to AB 1851 that was recently adopted by the state, which does already give church properties the authority to have residential on their properties. And lastly, just wanted to share with you the down zoning of industrial properties when near residential. So as part of environmental justice element, there is a proposal to essentially rezone heavy industrial properties to light industrial when it's within 500 feet of a residential property. So in closing, I want to at least also mention to you that, this is not on your agenda tonight. So we are not asking you for any feedback at this time. Just wanted to at least provide you with that information so that you're aware of it as you review the documents in the coming weeks. That's all I have to say. I also want to wish you guys all happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know that, in fact, invite you to the Police Services Center on December 20th. It's a Monday. We're going to open up the PSC and have cookies and chocolate and Santa there. So come on over, bring your camera. You can take a picture with Santa before he gets to work. And hopefully we'll see you there. And everybody's invited, staff included. We'll see you then.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
So others can say it in their own way, but on behalf of our planning and building departments, we'd like to say compliments of the season.
Nice picture.
You trained your staff well. They're talking like you now.
Yes, they definitely have a good leader, so it shows. But before we leave, I would just like to mention that you will be receiving the environmental document for Lakeland and Laurel. That is the affordable housing unit on a housing successor-owned property. It's scheduled to come before you at a later date, but as customary, we give you sufficient time to look at the environmental document so that once it comes before you, you've had ample opportunity to review the document. So that will be sent to you tomorrow. Any of you that require a hard copy, please let us know and we will provide that to you. Thank you.
One quick final announcement that Claudia had mentioned is the city is having a decorating contest within City Hall. So we invite you to come check out our decorations within our department area. A lot of the vision came from Claudia, a lot of contribution from our director, Wayne Morrell, but we're really proud of it. So we'd like to invite you by to see it.
Yes, and you don't have to go any place beyond planning. Don't worry about the others.
Any other announcements?
I just want to remind the planning commissioners that in the coming month of January, we will have 2 planning commission meetings, January the 10th and January the 24th.
24th.
Trust me, I know that date is Johnny Hernandez's birthday, that Monday, and the day after mine. That's all I'm going to say.
He's on.
And I also want to let you know that Ken Arnold is actually present, and if Claudia can give him access.
Hi, Ken. How you doing?
I'm so sorry. I just got back from surgery. I had to get a skin cancer removed today, and I just got back to the house. It went a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. So I apologize for getting here late.
No need for apologies, Ken. We were all talking about you, wishing you the best.
Mm.
And you're a fighter, Ken, and we love you.
I apologize for not being able to be at the meeting, so.
If you're not here physically, you're always here spiritually. So
No.
you're always here with us.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to get here and surgery took a lot longer than what I thought it was going to take. So, all right. Well, I'm
Yeah,
so
Ken,
sorry.
you may not have been here physically, but as Gabriel had mentioned, we had mentioned you, you and your wife are all in our prayers.
Yeah.
And, you know, you do what you have to do. You know what? This will be waiting for you when you're able to come back. So let us take care of it for now. And you just take care of yourself. That's the main thing.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. And thank
Get your
you.
rest, Ken. It's Francis. Get your
and-
rest. Prayers going up to you. God bless you and your wife.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank
Okay. So that being said, we're going to adjourn this meeting, and I would like to adjourn the meeting at 7:04.
Enjoy your Christmas.
Merry Christmas.